You must have read today that the United States has again struck from Afghanistan. They sent a drone through to the Khurram agency, and um, we, as usual, have made all the usual noises and done nothing about it. Let me explain. When I was ambassador in the United Nations, and many times I asked the People's Party government, why don't we stop this? We have the option in the Security Council to take this up as unwarranted infringement of our sovereignty. And you know what the answer was, which was then given by the Americans? It was that we have been given permission to use these drone attacks. And the government of Pakistan did nothing to refute that, obviously because it was true. So, at that stage, I said, if you give them permission to infringe upon your sovereignty without seeking your consensus, what's going to happen one day is when you least expect it, they're going to start attacking you in other ways. Well, that is exactly what is happening. Now, what do we need to do about it? One is we need to make a unilateral declaration that we do not want infringement of our airspace. And this is why I kept saying, bring them to the table and announce that you will take charges, customs duties of any traversing through Pakistan. Now, what does that do? One, it creates a revenue stream for you. Two, it obliges them to form and ask Pakistan's permission through forms to be able to cross. And even if they want something like this, it then restricts them because obviously they will not be given permission. So, really speaking, the government really intends to do very little about it. But this is what needs to be done. Then, stupidly, you have kept this aspect of FATA on the say-so of one or two questionable people, politicians, leaders, out of the race. You have said FATA is not a part, an integral part of Pakistan somehow. What you should have done, as I have said earlier, taken over FATA. It is a part of Pakistan. They were given 70 years of lax legal facilitation. The government should now close down, make it a part of Pakistan's integrity territory and a part of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, and then they will be attacking not an area whom they like to say is, this is what they've always said, oh, it's under dispute. It's under no dispute. This is not Hong Kong, I reiterate. This is a part of British India which is given privileges but was bought and paid for by British India, the same way as Gwadar was bought and paid for from Oman. Why don't we understand our own rights and privileges and our own territory, our internationally known territories? So the aspect that comes in is that it has to be done, and now that you've made it so easy for them so often, it's part of the agreed process. Where are they going to listen to you now? And if you really want to do something, the Prime Minister said they have diplomatic. What have they done diplomatically in the last 10, 20 days? We've been talking from all over Pakistan. People have been bringing in opinion. But these governments don't want to listen to opinion. They just want to do what they want to do, keeping all their sides buttered like a well-buttered toast. Well, that's not good enough. Move the United Nations, but you're not on the committee anymore, or the Security Council. So you'll have to bring it up slowly. Meanwhile, let's get this absolutely clear. I would like to advise the government and the Information Department and Minister of the government of Pakistan, stop following in the footsteps of the former Prime Minister. I don't mean it politically. It has got nothing to do with politics. But you have a task. Have you ever managed to sit down, Madam Minister, and see how much propaganda is being done against Pakistan? How international television is carrying the Indian military's point of view in program after program after program. They've even put up a disputed program now on the partition of Pakistan. They are going haywire in trying to make you look bad, stupid, unprincipled, in no way comparable to them, which is all wrong. What are you doing about it? Look, I respect your loyalty to Mr. Nawaz Sharif, but please do the task you're being paid for. It's not as if you're being asked to do it for free. You are the minister, it's your job. Why haven't you made counter provisions to make programs that make Pakistan look good, the Pakistan army look good, the way the Indians are doing? Because they're not doing it without reason. I have said this earlier. This collusion of the United States, Israel, and India has reasons. And do you know, Madam Minister, that they're now even talking about putting the Indian Navy in the South China Sea? So they have taken sides very deliberately, and we are letting them run over us with their propaganda machine and doing nothing about it. There are ways to do things, madam. Please do so and do your job, which you're paid for. After that, I want to raise the issue of terrorism. Do you know, again, that all the propaganda on the international media is based on terrorism? And they will slowly come to the point where they'll be basing this on you and pointing the finger at you all the time. So what have you done to counter it? What have you done in terms of policy? So you are inviting drone attacks. You are inviting people to take on your sovereignty. You are doing nothing about it. And at the very same time, I would also like to bring to your attention that what had been said earlier about the territorial integrity of Pakistan, neither the United States, after the so-called statements of the Foreign Office, nor our regional area neighbors have spoken about our territorial integrity. And I warn you again and again, we are not doing enough to keep Pakistan going. Please put your heads together and, if need be, do what Churchill did in the Second World War. You are under attack. Form a war cabinet. Meet it that way. I think the time has come for us to realize that what is being planned is not just our inconveniences. What is being planned and is, I am afraid to say, looking as if we may not appear as we are geopolitically today. So let us not fool ourselves. Let us not keep sliding things under the carpet. Let's get down to it. Let's meet everything head on. Let's get Pakistan going. Look at the economic order. I remember my father saying the worst period will be when the garbage collection in our country will be taken up by aliens. But that is what we've got to. Can you believe it? With industrial decline and the impact it has on our balance of payments annually, our balance of payments have gone haywire. But for God's sakes, a country like Pakistan, which has been a garbage collector to so many countries of the world, is giving out its garbage collection to aliens. I think this is a very sad situation. Come on, Pakistan, buck up. Just selling properties all over the country to all sorts of people is not going to keep Pakistan going. Realize what is happening. Realize what is happening in Sindh, where people were crying on the streets. It rends one's heart. How will we live? The only cash crop in Sindh is sugar cane. And they've brought that to below 100 rupees this year for the poor growers. Where are they going to live for? Nobody seems to be bothered, not the Sindh government, and not even the federal government, which has no responsibility to Sindh. This is not what Pakistan was created for. You have to I mean, all that they're interested to in Punjab is a power game. They're not interested in Pakistan. They're not interested in Pakistanis being responsible for Pakistan. Come on, improve yourself. If you accuse me of being cynical, all right, but then please do something. If Balochistan had been allowed to grow instead of pampering a few feudals, it would have been a different story. And let's be absolutely clear. We keep talking about it stupidly. Oh, give us the money to send the Afghans home. Just send them home over the border. Put 20, 30, 40 lakh people and push them out towards the border. Let them live in their own country. Our country cannot any longer bear this burden. And then you watch the differences. You see, nobody's calling a spade a spade. Nobody wants to do anything. Slide it under the carpets. Get more loans. Get more this. My God, we have doubled the loans of Pakistan in the last 3 years. What more do we want to do? Triple them? Well, that'll happen. But then I warn you again, what happened to Karnataka when the Nawab could not pay money to the East India Company? They took properties of his and vast tracts of land. That's what we might be having to do in a while if we're not careful. So get down to it, move it. It's not just criticism, it is severe anxiety. What are we doing? Please keep listening. There's so much more to come. Thank you.